What's up, you guys? Welcome back to The Fearless Father, where I review movies, TV, and other stuff. I'm your host, Ezekiel, and stay the heck out of chat rooms, especially if you're a child. Oh my goodness. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, I was born in 1990. I grew up right around the time where internet was booming. AOL was still booming and the thing. It was then shortly after it was MySpace. There was chat rooms all the time. All sorts of TV shows were doing specials and stuff about the deep seedy nature of chat rooms. I would get schooled over and over again about how to behave in chat rooms. First rule is do not give away any personal information. Talk about things you like, you dislike, but that for those of you who don't know the abbreviation, ASL was kind of code to try and exchange information. That was age, sex, location. Now the definition of that second part has changed a little bit in more or less recent future, but the people would type in ASL with a question mark, and I knew instantly, well, thank you. I don't need to know your information. You don't need to know mine. That's not some place growing up, I knew better because I was taught, and thankfully, that half the time on the other side of that computer, that what I'm thinking is another teenage girl or is another young teenage boy like myself communicating with, half the time that person on the other side of that screen is some 40-year-old creep living in his mother's basement trying to kidnap me or do literally God knows what. So watch who you guys give your information out to on the internet. I know it's a little different now. There's a lot more safeguards and stuff, but I still like to follow those rules regarding internet usage. Today we are watching the official Netflix trailer for Cyberhell, exposing an internet horror. I don't know too much about it. I kind of flicked through the description a little bit. Apparently there was some guys doing some nasty stuff, like I was just saying. Just stay out of chat rooms. But we're going to just watch and see how it goes, because I'm really curious as to what happened.
미성년자를 포함해 수십 명의 피해자를 협박해 음란 동영상을 찍게 한 뒤
피해자들의 개인정보를 쥐고 빠져나갈 수 없게 만들었습니다.
멤버방 뭐지? 하고 알아보니까
보도물이 있다는 거예요. 음란물을 유통하는 채팅방이 있다라는 보도.
저는 기자 지망생이었고 불법 촬영과 관련된 주제로 기사를 계속 써냈습니다. 이게 대한민국에서 일어난 일이라고 믿겨지지가 않는 거예요.
이것만 찍으면 지워줄게. 돌이킬 수 없는 거야.
더군다나 이게 일명이 아니라는 거예요. 엠번방 사건은 다 같이 공모해서.
피해자는 10대가 많았고요.
흔히들 얘기하는 야동은 아니다. 이거는 학대다.
잡힌다 이건. 반드시 잡힌다.
범죄자가 저희한테 먼저 말 거는 경우가 있었을까요?
자기가 진짜 안 잡힐 거라고 100% 믿고 있었어요.
그러니까 어떻게든 이거를 여론화를 시켜야겠다. 방송을 하길 결정을 한 거죠.
학사로 추정되는 용의자를 저희가 수십 명을 일단 특정을 했고, 거기에 다 잠복적 다 배치를 하고.
피해자들한테 사과할 생각 없으십니까? 박 사장!
Oh, wow. So this is it's a documentary. Like I said before, just stay the heck out of chat rooms. Apparently this is about something that took place in took place in South Korea. Although this does happen all over the world, This documentary is about something that was happening in South Korea. It is pretty much the same MO that I've heard thousands of times, including from watching To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. It was a whole bunch of grown men talking or sneaking into chat rooms with teenagers, young, in my perspective, it was mostly young girls, but little boys could get it too. And all these grown men were seeking to exploit, abuse, and harm children. I was taught to don't give out no personal information. That's the best way to stay away from that. And it turns out that some of these guys were getting personal information and even using pictures that they received from different sources to blackmail these people into doing more stuff. And it becomes a never-ending cycle. They would also kidnap and hold personal information. They would take all these children's personal information and hold it hostage so that they can escape. What has happened to these children is extremely sad, and those who are committing these atrocities deserve to be, I'm trying to say this in a YouTube friendly way, but if you hurt kids, you deserve every single thing that's going to come to you. Like, if you are out there abusing kids, especially in this type of way, there's a nice warm spot waiting for you down below. I mean, like, you deserve the worst. As a dad, as a former child, it's not right. Leave the babies alone, leave the kids alone, leave them all alone, let them grow up to become adults, and then as adults we handle situations a little differently, and we learn and grow differently than children. Don't affect the way a child's growing, because you never know who that child could have been, and by hurting or harming that child, you're permanently altering who they could have grown into. You're constantly going to be affecting them for the rest of their life. And on top of that, it's wrong and gross, bro. Like nigga leaves it. Oh, excuse me. I don't have to cut that out. Like leave the kids alone. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I even thought when I was in high school and I would hear about these girls. When I was in high school, it was kind of a bragging point sometimes. For some young ladies, thought it was cool to have a boyfriend who's 20-some years old, 22, 23 years old, and you're 17, 18 in high school. Even then, I was like, that dude's a creep. If he's that old, why is he still hanging around, kids our age? That's creepy. It seems like they're not mature enough to be around people their own age. They're not mature enough to attract a woman their own age. What you messing with people younger than you for, especially like significantly younger? I understand things were different back in the day because some of our grandmas and grandpas out here got a 10, 15 year age difference. But as life goes on, life progresses, technology progresses, and knowledge of self progresses, I feel like our view of how relationships work should also progress. As of right now in the States, in the United States, across the board, 18 is kind of the legal age where you should stop. I understand that there's this whole age of consent thing floating around, but 18 is kind of, you're considered a minor. You're from 18 and younger, you're considered a minor. And as you move up, you become an adult. But I also feel like you should be with people your own age, romantically. Now, what you want to do as an adult, that's all for you. If you want to be 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old dating someone 45, 50 years old, that's up to you. You're an adult. You can make those choices. I personally think it's a little on the weird side, but hey, I'm not gonna knock it. I've done some weird things in my life, not necessarily on that level, but I guess. But under the age of 18, let's let them grow up so they can make their own decisions as an adult. I just think it's wrong. I'm probably not going to watch this because I don't need that type of trauma in my life. It does seem like it's going to be a good documentary. From what I hear, Netflix be knocking it out of the park when it comes to these documentaries. I am not so much a documentary person. I used to be, but then my tastes have changed ever since then. I'm probably not going to watch it because, like I said, I don't need this trauma in my life. I don't need to lie to you guys. I feel I grew up with the best teaching of how to operate the internet out there. Do not give your personal information out. Do not meet up with anybody you meet on the internet. Times are different now. People are meeting over Facebook and all these dating apps and TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. But and people are able to connect from around the world. Like, I can literally hop on anywhere right now and talk to someone in China, in Japan, like on the literal whole cross of the not United States, whole other side of the world, and someone in Africa. Have a full conversation with them, even if they don't speak English and I don't speak whatever language they speak. We can translate and stuff. I did that in one of my comments before. I spoke to a young man. I believe he was speaking French, and he would type something in French. I would go to take it to Google Translate. I would type a reply back, have it translate to French, copy and paste it in there. You can do that, but like, I'm never gonna ask for his personal information. I hope that no one out there asks for my personal information. I'm not gonna do it. I told you guys my age earlier. I'm old enough to be, I can give whatever personal information I want out. It's still a safety measure that I instill in my children and that I still practice to this day. Just don't give your personal information out. It's just one of those things that you just have to really be careful about. People get kidnapped and hurt and harmed every single day. And there are countless stories of what could go wrong. Now, there's also, on the other side of that scale, countless stories of what could go right, but I like to err a little bit on the side of caution. So take it how you will. For those of you who are currently in situations where you have been coerced or forced or even voluntarily as a child got into a situation with an adult, call someone and tell someone. You know, like, if you're currently in a bad situation, get out as best and as safely as possible. I've done a couple of videos, a couple of reactions that center somewhat around this subject. And each video I put United States national hotlines in the description. I'm gonna do the same thing for this video. Call those numbers if you need help. Call 911 if you need help. For those of you who are getting real close to a situation like this, don't give out your personal information. If you already have, tell your parents, tell an adult who you trust to help you out in said situation. A lot of times, creepy old men will say what you want to hear to get what they want from you. It's not always there. They will promise all sorts of things and never deliver, regardless of whether you deliver on your side of promises. Like I said, they're creepy, they're old, they're nasty. Just be careful how you operate the internet. Be careful how you operate yourself. Just guard yourself a little bit. I don't really have much else to say about this. Just be careful out there, you guys. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. I want you guys to know that I really appreciate you. I appreciate every like, every subscription. I appreciate every comment that you guys give me. Click up here for more reactions. Click up here for more reviews. And also, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about me, my setup, or anything you guys want to see me do in the future, go ahead and drop it down in that suggestion box below. As always, take it easy.